What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing whether or not Beyonce is a pick. Before the beehive even starts, okay, I am a very much so Beyonce fan. I have gone to her concerts since I was 5 years old, okay? So we're not going to even play those games. However, I have noticed a lot of people criticizing her as a pick-me, and a lot of other female celebrities saying they're pushing out harmful rhetoric in their lyrics. After doing the Taylor Swift video saying that Taylor Swift is apparently a pick-me and going through her lyrics, I thought, why not make this a series unveiling various singers' lyrics, singers, rappers, and heck, even influencers, and trying to determine whether or not they are pick-me's. Obviously, with influencers, we'll go down a different scope, but in today's video, we're speaking about the superstar, legendary singer, Beyonce. Now, y'all know I'm going to give further context before we even get into the lyrics and unveiling why Beyonce may have been singing the way she has in the past and even currently, so don't you fret. But before we get into today's video, you guys know I like to start off every video with a little bit of positivity, so let's first start off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is a super powerful one, and it is, "I am willing to be a work in progress in order to become a masterpiece." Today's verse of the day is Romans chapter 15, verse 13, and it reads, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." Please be sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. I am on Instagram, TikTok, and I have a separate YouTube channel. This channel that you're watching right now also is a podcast. So if you're listening in, hey, thank you for listening. And if you did not know this was a podcast, please be sure to check us out. We are on all audio streaming platforms, from Apple Podcasts to Amazon to Spotify. We are here. So you can listen to every single video no matter where you go. I also have a separate podcast called The Decision Podcast, all about how one choice can impact your entire life. The podcast is impactful, it's deep, so many different stories I have learned. I have had so many guests. I actually have been shooting an episode a week the past month, so your girl has been booked and busy, but it has been absolutely phenomenal. So if you guys want to check out that podcast, we are also available on YouTube here, and we are also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, along with Instagram and TikTok. So follow us on all those platforms too. And if you guys want to see more of my personal life, I have a separate channel called Toni Talks TV, where you guys see more vlogs and just girl chat type of videos. And if you guys want to see pictures of me and all my daily escapades, I post every single day on Instagram. And also I do little think pieces and kind of similar concepts as this, along with vlogs on my TikTok. And yeah, I think that is all the housekeeping. So without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video.
Taking you in this moment.
We all know Beyonce's musical journey isn't just about hit songs. We have literally seen her growth through her entire discography, and I definitely give Beyonce all the accolades on how extremely talented she is, along with how amazing her music is. Not only amazing, but also relatable. Her music catalog is an emotional narrative of love, heartbreak, and resilience, along with a sprinkling of women empowerment. However, a lot of people don't seem to see the women empowerment side of her music reflecting in her real life, calling and labeling her a pick-me. Fans have pinpointed through her music that she has shown an intense devotion to her now husband, Jay-Z, even with many allegations and him eventually admitting to infidelity. So the question is her intense love and devotion towards Jay-Z, and might I say, divine loyalty, reflective of her true character? Not this girl boss, but instead a pick-me. So let's dive into some key songs that have people giving Beyonce the side eye when it comes to her allegedly being a pick-me. First, starting off with her song Dangerously in Love. In Beyonce's early solo career, after leaving her very popular group Destiny's Child, Beyonce dropped the song Dangerously in Love in 2003. Even just by the title, you can tell that this song shows an unwavering feeling she has when it comes to love to her partners. The song encapsulates perfectly the of fairy tale fantasy in a relationship. And it's honestly one of my favorite songs by her. She sings unapologetically about a love that she claims she can't live without. And there are a few lyrics in this song that the feminist community would probably want to vomit to. And we're going to talk about those lyrics right now. So literally in her lyrics, she says in quote, "I can't do this thing called life without you here with me, 'cause I'm dangerously in love with you, I'll never leave." She then goes on to say, "My happiest moments weren't complete if you weren't by my side." And then she even daydreams about their future, saying in quote, "I see myself having your child, being your wife, my whole future in your eyes." And then at the very end of the song, she says repeatedly, almost for a full minute, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you." And she just keeps on saying it. Now, we have to keep in mind when Beyonce released this, she was a mere 21 years old. She was very young. And if we look at the trajectory of her career when she was really young, Beyonce catapulted into fame around 16 years old. So given that we all know that she's extremely devoted to her career, she is very dedicated and ambitious, I highly doubt she had a strong experience when it came to love. All we really know is her high school boyfriend and then rapper Jay-Z, who is her now husband. So at 21 years old, she doesn't have a lot of experience when it comes to love. So it wouldn't be shocking that she felt such an intensity when it came to love to just the second person she may have ever dated. It's almost like that feeling of high school love. I always say I kind of am sad that I will never get that unwavering feeling of love again. And honestly, I don't think I've ever felt it, like that puppy love, teenage love feel. That feeling of kind of complete ignorance and bliss that someone can't do you wrong or your partner won't do you wrong. When you get to a certain age and you experience dating and heartbreak, that fantasy is kind of removed. And I think it gets removed even sooner as years go on. This was in 2003. There was no social media. There was no TikTok. There was no YouTube. There was no dating apps where you are constantly being met with a multitude of different men. Well, boys, men, whatever you want to call it. So Beyonce definitely was more boxed in. So I'm not surprised that these lyrics are ones that came out of her mouth at 21 years old. But we also should remember that Beyonce's attachment to Jay-Z, if these lyrics were about him, and they allegedly were about him, Beyonce revealed that her and Jay-Z started dating when she was just 19 years old and he was 31. Okay? That is a significant age gap when you look at how young Beyonce was. And if you really want to look at it on a deeper scope, most likely they probably dated a little bit younger than that. Beyonce most likely would not announce that if that was the case. But we don't know. As of now, we're just going to trust her word. She said that she started dating him at 19 years old. But regardless, that is a very, very significant age gap. And we all know how easily influenced and how kind of like young and dumb young girls could be when it comes to love, especially when it is with an older man who can be very manipulative to young girls. She was literally still a teenager when she met him, though she was a legal adult. Still a teenager, still a teenager, still a teenager. Y'all know my thoughts on that. I don't think you get out of teenagehood until you're 21, and I don't think you become an adult till you're 25. But this age difference means that Jay-Z was a very much so seasoned adult, while Beyonce was just entering adulthood. So it's very easy to see how this relationship dynamic could foster an anxious attachment style. And if you guys do not know what an anxious attachment style is, it's known as an insecure attachment style characterized by a strong desire for closeness, a fear of abandonment, and a constant need for reassurance and validation from others. So with her writing this song, because she did write this song, the lyrics definitely display how she may have had an anxious attachment style. So if we completely remove the word pick me and instead use anxious attachment style, there gives a lot more context than just saying that she is just one that is so infatuated with men, like a lot of people like to say. I feel as if this song really set the tone for how devoted Beyonce is and was to Jay-Z, especially given her being a very young woman who was involved with an older, very powerful man. And I feel as if this set the stage for the emotional turmoil that she dealt with later on in their relationship. Okay, let's talk about my forever go-to for fashion, Revolve. Whether I'm planning a trip, getting ready for date night, or just wanting that little closet glow up, Revolve is absolutely it. I recently grabbed a few pieces off the site, and I swear I have never felt so confident getting dressed. Everything fits perfectly, and they make finding outfits so easy. The site literally curates edits for every vibe, from vacations to birthdays to nights out, you name it, they got it. They have over 1,200 brands and 100,000 styles across fashion, beauty, and home. You can shop everything from high-end labels to exclusive Revolve brands, and the best part? New arrivals drop daily, plus fast and free shipping and returns. It's honestly one of the only places I shop today. Whether it's a weekend away, a big night out, or just a little style reset, your dream wardrobe is just one click away. Head to revolve.com/Toni, shop my edit, and take 15% off your first order with code Toni. Fast 2-day shipping, easy returns. It's literally one of the best places to shop from. That's revolve.com/Toni to shop my favorites and get 15% off your first order with code Toni. The offer ends November 21st, so happy shopping. So around the same period, Beyoncé released the song Cater to You. Now this song's with her group Destiny's Child, and each of the girls in the group, Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams, along with Beyoncé Knowles, they all talk about how much they cater to a man. This song is often cited in debates when it comes to singers creating pick-me lyrics. And literally in the chorus, it goes like this. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Do anything for my man, baby, you blow me away. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, just let me cater to you. The entire song is filled with a woman servicing a man, okay? We'll go down the lyrics because it's honestly the whole song. I mean, it's literally called Cater to You, but I'm going to try to unveil as much without doing too much. Let's just get into Beyonce's part without unveiling Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams' part, because they also said pick me lyrics too, but this song is about Beyonce. But please understand, I'm not directly saying that these are pick me lyrics because I have my own thoughts, but just give me a second. So Miss Beyonce goes on to say, let me help you take off your shoes, untie your shoestrings, take off your cufflinks. What you want to eat, boo? Let me feed you. Let me run your bathwater. Whatever you desire, I'll supply you. Sing you a song, turn the game on. I'll brush your hair, help you put your do-rag on. Want a foot rub? Do you want a manicure? Baby, I'm yours. I want to cater to you. Okay, I actually think I'm going to do Kelly's lyrics too, because I was like, I feel like Kelly's lyrics are a lot more pick me if people wanted to label it. And Kelly's a part of the song with Beyonce anyways, so I might as well just go ahead and say her part too. But Kelly's lyrics go as, baby, I'm happy you're home. Let me hold you in my arms. I just want to take the stress away from you, making sure that I'm doing my part. Boys, there's something you need me to do. If you want it, say the word. I know whatever I'm not fulfilling, another woman is willing. I'm gonna fulfill your mind, body, and spirit. I promise you, I'll keep myself up. Remain the same chick you fell in love with. I'll keep it tight. I'll keep my figure right. I'll keep my hair fixed. Keep rocking the hottest outfits. Will you come home late? Tap me on my shoulder, I'll roll over. Baby, I heard you. I'm here to serve you. It's love you need, is to give it is my joy. All I want to do is cater to you, boy. And the one part... And when you actually read these lyrics without singing the song, it sounds far worse than what I'm thinking that it has been, because I will sing these lyrics with my whole entire chest, okay? But literally in this part, I'll keep my hair fixed, I'll keep it tight, I'll keep my figure right. Remain the same chick you fell in love with. That alone is very problematic to say, because as we know in relationships and as women grow their families, they change, their hormones change, their bodies change. We're gonna look different. If you started dating a guy at 20 years old, you're gonna look way different at 27 most likely, or you'll be a different person mentally. So just like that entire concept of I'm going to try to keep myself up as best I can so that you're always happy and you remain in love with the girl you fell in love with 10 years ago is problematic in itself. And even when she says, whatever I'm not fulfilling, another woman is willing, is also a very terrible concept, because you can be the world to a man and a man will still do what a man wants to do. So that can be seen as problematic too. But when we get to Beyonce's part, which we talked about about a little bit earlier. It's her saying she wants to service her man, how she's going to take care of him. She's going to brush his hair. She's going to take off his shoes. She's going to run his bath water. And the one thing I will say, I do not think these lyrics are technically pick me the way that people will label it as. I think that when you are in a happy and healthy relationship, these things will be a non-question, okay? If you feel safe, if you feel taken care of, you're gonna want to brush your man's hair, maybe cook him a hot meal. I do find it a little bit problematic that us as women, especially today, there is definitely a I hate men agenda going on. Are men problematic in a lot of cases? Sure. I will never, ever pick a man's side over a woman unless absolutely necessary. But I say that all to say I am not a man hater. I never will be a man hater. I have a wonderful man in my life. I was raised by a wonderful man. My dad's a wonderful man who's the same man that raised me. So I'm never going to sit around and bash men, especially with it being very common and popular to do right now. But when you hear these lyrics, it almost seems like a plead, like, oh, even when Kelly said, when you come home late, tap me on my shoulder, I'll roll over. So you come home late, like what was he doing out? And you're gonna wake me up out of my sleep and I'm gonna roll over. To me, it sounds like she's like, okay, if you come home late, tap me on your shoulder and I'm gonna roll over because if you want some, I'm gonna give you some right now. And I think that also is problematic in itself. Why is he coming home late? So, you know, those are questions that need answers. So my whole point to say is, when it comes to this song, I think it's a beautiful song if the man is well deserving. Now, some lyrics could be changed because some lyrics do give slightly pick me, but overall, I don't think this is like a pick me song. I think it's okay for a man to feel cherished and loved if he is providing you with that same exact love. There was even a Twitter debate, I believe in 2021, with people saying things as far as this song giving slave lyrics. And I think in today's terms, especially with the women empowerment movement and women figuring out that you don't need a man and that there's so much more to life than just a man, it is labeled as pick me lyrics. But I do believe that these lyrics do deserve some nuance, okay? Context definitely matters with who you're speaking on, but I do see how some people can see like red flags blaring. There were newspaper articles calling this song out, from the Washington Post to the Times of India to people in academia saying that the song is considered harmful. But like I said, I think if there is context added to who the song was about, that is completely different. And if she was indeed talking about Jay-Z, we have to remember that Beyonce was very, very young and she was just a girl in love with an older man, and you're gonna have those feelings and thoughts even if she was with a younger guy. When you are in your late teens to early 20s, you are going to have those thoughts of just being so infatuated with the man, though he may not even deserve it. The countdown is officially on. Holiday shopping season is officially here. Yeah! And if you're like me, you're probably trying to find something for your loved ones that's actually thoughtful and not basic. That's why I'm absolutely obsessed with Uncommon Goods. They take the stress out of gifting with thousands of unique, high quality finds you won't see anywhere else. I was scrolling on their website and I found the perfect gift for my sister that I know she would absolutely love. It was these custom embroidered sweatshirts where you can have your pet's face and their name on it. She is an absolute dog lover and I know she would love it, and the best part is it is such a unique concept. That is just one of the many unique gifts and things you will find on Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods works with independent artists and small businesses, so every single time you make a purchase, you're supporting real creators. Plus, they give back $1 to a nonprofit business partner for every order, and they donated more than $3 million to date. So don't wait, cross those names off your list before everybody is shopping and taking all the good stuff. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Toni. Once again, that's uncommongoods/Toni for 15% off. Happy shopping! But moving on to some later songs when it comes to Beyonce, and what I love about Beyonce's discography is that you can literally see her music mature from her voice to the type of song she created. But not just that, but also emotionally. And you can kind of see that there may have been some cracks in her relationship with Jay-Z as we go on to her second studio album. And that album is B-Day. So during her B-Day era, which is honestly, I would have to say, probably my favorite Beyonce album, you you can definitely see that Beyonce grew up a little bit. I believe she was about 25 when this album came out. She was born in 1981. Yeah, I think she was 25. This was 2006, if I'm doing my math correct. So yes, Beyonce and I were around the same age when she dropped B-Day. It was dropped on her 25th birthday. So 25 is when your frontal lobe supposedly forms. And I think Beyonce went from like the delusional love to realizing that, her man was doing her dirty. So in the mid-early 2000s, rumors of Jay-Z cheating were swirling rapidly. And these rumors were later confirmed, but many, many, many years later. Now, Beyonce never addressed these rumors at the time, but those lyrics, well, they spoke volumes. Let's get into her hit song, Ring the Alarm, on the B-Day album. So this song very much showed that Beyonce said, "Ish ain't sweet anymore, and now I'm mad." In these lyrics, she shows a very vulnerable, raw, and angry side of her potentially having to lose her spot when it comes to being in her man's life. And she was so angry at the fact that all the time she invested in her man that she would just give it up to give to some other woman. Here are some of the lyrics in this song. Ring the alarm, I've been through this too long, but I'll be damned if I see another chick on your arm. She gon' be rocking chinchilla coats if I let you go. Get in the house off the coast if I let you go. She gon' take everything I own if I let you go. I can't let you go, damn if I let you go. She gon' rock them VVS stones if I let you go. In the back or the rolls if I let you go. She gon' profit everything I taught if I let you go. I can't let you go, damn if I let you go. People told me about the flame, I couldn't see through the smoke. When I need answers, accusations, what you mean you gon' choke? She goes on later in the song saying, how can you look at me and not see all the things that I kept only just for you? Why would you risk it, baby? Is that the price that I pay? And if you hear the song, one of my favorite songs ever, Beyonce is furious. She's barely singing. She's like growling. She's angry. She's furious. Like, you would really risk what we have and my investment in this relationship for some other chick. And she's basically saying, I don't really care what you did because I refuse to let this other chick come and take my place. And though she's angrier and not as delusionally in love as her earlier lyrics, it still matches the rhetoric, I'll never let you go. And she blatantly says it, I'd be damned if I let you go. It shows how possessive she is, how vengeful and angry she is. And I do believe that the lyrics do show what a lot of women think when they're in a long-term relationship, even if that relationship is not a happy one or it's not a healthy one, they choose to stay in that relationship because the time they invested in it. They don't want the relationship to feel like it was thrown away, or they feel like they have to prove a point, like I stayed with him and you see it worked out. And that does show little increments and levels of being a pick-me. Beyonce's fear of loss is so great that she's willing to sacrifice her pride and her peace than to lose Jay-Z without a fight. And that is a very dangerous point that a lot of women get to when it comes to a lot of relationships that they're in. And then it leads to them feeling like they have to prove themselves. Thus gets us to the song Upgrade You by Beyonce, which was on that same B-Day album. So you guys are probably gonna hear me say this 1,012,000,000 times. This is my song, this is my song. I just really, really love, I don't even know why I just said that like that. I had a whole accent. But I just really love a lot of Beyonce's songs, so don't be shocked. But Upgrade You is definitely up there, okay? Because I be feeling it, I be singing it like, let me upgrade you, okay? But if you hear the context of the lyrics, it is a little sketch and it does maybe give a little bit of pick-me. This is their song together. Jay-Z actually opens this song with his own monologue before Beyonce starts to sing, and what he says is very interesting. But we'll get into that in just a second. But in this song, Beyonce is just speaking on how much she can improve a man's life, and not just any man's life, her man Jay-Z's life. On the surface, it gives that this song is all about being confident and you're a boss and you're that girl, and that's why a lot of women love it. But when you look at it on a deeper scope, it's almost as if she's trying to prove herself to her partner who was allegedly cheating on her at the time. So let's get into the opening monologue of this song, and that is when Jay-Z says something very, very interesting before Beyonce starts singing about how she can upgrade you. So Jay-Z says in the opening monologue, yeah, B, talk yo ish, huh? How you gonna upgrade me? What's higher than number one? You know I used to beat that block, now I bees the block. So just in that little increment, he says, how you gonna upgrade me? What's higher than number one? Right there, it's like he's saying, I'm at this level and you're beneath me. So how in the heck are you gonna upgrade me? So it appears he already sees himself higher than Beyonce. He doesn't see himself as equal levels as her. He sees him above her. So that's just an interesting part. It could just be lyrics. He's just talking. Maybe it just spices up the song a little bit, but this is a deep dive, so we're gonna look at it in a deeper light. So that does give a little, He already thinks he's better than her. He said, I used to beat that block, now I am the block. So like I'm on this way higher pedestal. I am the end all be all. That's what those lyrics come across as. And then when Beyonce starts her part of the song, it seems like she's trying to prove on how I can upgrade you. So it seems like she's trying to be like, babe, like I'm great. Like I can be a great part of your life. But let's get into Beyonce's lyrics quickly too. In the chorus, she says, you need a real woman in your life. That's a good look. Taking care home is still fly. That's a good look. I'ma help you build up your account. That's a good look. Better yet, a hood look. Ladies, that's a good look. When you're in them big meetings for the mills, it takes me just to compliment the deal. Anything you cop, I'll split the bill. Better yet, a hood look. Believe me, ladies, that's a good look. So right there, y'all all know women today are totally against splitting any bills. But in this context, Beyonce's like, I'm better than that. I'm not one of those girls that's like, I want you to pay for everything because I bring something to the table. I have money. I have designer bags. I have all these designer things. Because if y'all don't know the rest of the lyrics, she just speaks a lot about designer stuff and just all the things that she has and all the assets that she has that she's going to add to a man's life, not decrease from it. So in doing that, she's like, I can split the bills because I have the money and that's a good look. So I'm upgrading you by being in your life. So she's saying she's as much as a provider as he is. But remember in the opening monologue, Jay-Z says he's number one. He doesn't think they're equal, though Beyonce is saying that they're equal. But what's also interesting is that Beyonce also contradicts herself. She says this in the lyrics. It's very seldom that you're blessed to find your equal. Here she's implying that she is Jay-Z's equal. But then she says this right after. Still played my part and let you take the lead role. Believe me, I'll follow. This could be easy. I'll be the help whenever you need me. So you're this leader and boss lady, but then you're also going to go ahead and let him take the lead role. Is it giving pick me to y'all? I don't know. To me, I don't know if it's fully giving pick me. I do think that through the lyrics, if we're looking at it on a deeper scope, she could be seemingly downplaying herself in order to uplift him, which definitely shouldn't be seen as a good thing. But it could be that she just wants her man to lead, which some women really do enjoy. They want to allow their partner to lead, even though they themselves are independent and can lead themselves. And then of course in another part of the song she says, I can do for you what Martin did for the people, ran by the man but the women keep the temple. And that's her saying she's not just arm candy, she can also be an asset in his life and his career, which I don't think that's too much of a pick me. I don't like that lyric because I don't like how she says I can do for you what Martin did for the people, because she's referencing Martin Luther King Jr. So I've always felt a little icky about that lyric, but I know it can be seen as just an analogy for her when it comes to her showing the position she can be in a man's life. And what I think is really interesting in these lyrics, it shows exactly what a Black woman goes through when it comes to the public eye. I will say, speaking for myself, I'm a very heavily independent woman. I take care of myself. I pay my own bills. I've been doing so since I was 21 and I am now about to be 25. So it is difficult for me to allow a man into my life without coming off as very assertive and maybe a little bit intimidating and, dare I say, strong-willed and masculine. And y'all already know, as a Black woman, we are constantly seen as the aggressor and masculine. So we feel as if we have to kind of dumb ourselves down or let a man take the lead role and be more quote-unquote feminine according to society in order for us to have and maintain a man. So though we, and obviously I'm not comparing myself to Beyonce, I'm not Beyonce, but though we have have all of these things going on for ourselves, we still feel like we have to kind of simmer who we are in order for a man to feel like a man. And obviously it's not just Black women, but I'm going to speak directly on Black women because I do feel as if society deems us as the most masculine variation of a woman. But it's said that Black women, you can have all these accolades, but don't be threatening. Be independent, but also a good girlfriend or wife by catering to your man. So these lyrics in particular can be seen as like, oh, she's being so powerful. In the video, she's seemingly dressed more masculine and she's being more aggressive. And once again, this can be empowering. But if you look at the lyrics on a deeper scope, it does show different lights of things. And I want to know if you guys think that these are pick me lyrics. Now let's get into her song Resentment that was also on the B-Day album. And I'm just going to highlight one part in the song. This song is a very emotional one, though Beyonce did not write it herself. When she has performed it live, she is seen being literally in tears and she sings it wonderfully. Like, this is such a good song. Am I gonna say it again? This is probably one of my favorite songs, but I do love Resentment. I do think it's top 10 of her best songs, just because you can feel the raw emotional side in this song. And I think it's actually even better heard live than it is on the actual album. So yes, it's very, very well done. But there is one specific lyric in that song that can give a little bit of a pick me, but I also do think it's a little bit relatable for a lot of women when they have been cheated on. And as someone that has been cheated on, I felt it, though I wouldn't exactly. Let me stop being messy. Let me shut up. I'm about to say something, but I think y'all will probably catch what I was trying to say when I say the lyrics that I think could be categorized as pick me lyrics. Give me 1 second. The song basically is meant to represent a man cheating on you and throwing out all of the years that you guys had together. So kind of the polar opposite of the song Ring the Alarm, where she's showing more anger in that song. This song, she's showing more of sadness. In the song, she's saying how she tried to forgive him. She tried to be the bigger person, but she just solely feels resentment towards him because she can't fully forgive what he did to her, which is cheat on her. So in one part of the song, she says this: I know she was attractive, but I was here first. Been riding with you for 6 years. Why did I deserve to be treated this way by you? She goes on to say, you could have told me you wasn't happy. I know you didn't want to hurt me, but look what you've done to me now. And then I guess she like added this part in later, but I know she says, I have to look at her in her eyes, see she's had half of me. She ain't even half of me, which, hell, maybe I'm a pick me. But a lot of people insinuated, well, why are you attacking the woman? Like, that is not okay. You need to attack your man. And then in the bridge of the song, she says, I'll always remember feeling like I was no good, like I couldn't do it for you, like your mistress could. And it's all because you lied. So people think that this song can be labeled as a pick-me song because she's constantly bringing up the other woman and saying how she's better than the other woman. And how the heck could you? Like, look at me. How'd you pick this woman over me? And also it's the fact that even though she dropped songs like this, and though at the time she did not say that this was about Jay-Z or even about her, and we knew she did not write this song, it was like, it had to mean something to you because you put it on your album. And the thing is, yes, we love that you're showing this raw and vulnerable emotion, but you still stayed with him for years after this. Not only did she stay with him, she got married to him, and then she had 3 babies by him. So people are like, what was the purpose in doing all of this? So real talk. Quitting nicotine is really tough. Whether it's vaping, cigarettes, or pouches, that cycle of craving, crashing, and starting all over again can feel almost impossible to break. I've seen people around me struggle with nicotine addiction. They say they're gonna quit one day, and then the next day they're back at that bad habit. That's why I found it important to work with Quit with Jones. Jones just gets it. They created a science-backed and judgment-free way to quit your nicotine addiction, or even just take a step towards a safer alternative. With Jones, there's no smoke, no vapor, no hidden chemicals, just a discreet, tasty mint that you can pop in your mouth whenever you're having cravings. Their free app connects you with over 10,000 others going through the same exact thing. You can play Quiddle, track your progress, or just get daily motivation to keep you on track. So how does it work? Well, you first take the Jones quiz. From that quiz, you find your perfect mint strength from 2 milligrams to 4 milligrams. Then just use a mint when cravings hit and let it dissolve slowly. don't chew it. The app logs your streaks and helps you to stay consistent. It's genuinely simple, smart, and supportive. If you're ready to take a step towards quitting today, or even just find a safer nicotine option, visit quitwithjones.com/Toni to take the free quiz and use code Toni to get $10 off your personalized quitting journey. That's quitwithjones.com/Toni. Taking back control starts now. And thank you, Quit with Jones, for sponsoring today's video. And just a heads up, the mints do contain nicotine, which is an addictive chemical. Jones is FDA approved and available for those that are 18 and older. And now we're going to hop right into Lemonade with, I believe, 2 more songs we're going to highlight. I feel like we can go through like all of her lyrics and talk about her and Jay-Z's relationship. So if you guys want another video like that, please let me know, because this is actually kind of fun doing. I honestly didn't realize I'd have so much fun doing this. I had a little inkling, but this is actually a lot of fun, like uncovering lyrics and talking about what we may think is like a deeper meaning in these lyrics. But we're going to hop onto Lemonade because this was the album that showed that Jay-Z did indeed cheat on her. And I believe Lemonade dropped after she had the twin babies. So she was already with him, she stayed with him, but now she's just expressing how angry she felt and her true feelings towards the entire reality of her husband cheating on her. This album is probably one of the most critically acclaimed albums that she's ever made, and it literally is a story of how she felt. I think this album is like the 7 stages of grief. It is very well done, and I really wish this album came out when I was a little bit older, because I didn't realize how artistic this album was, and which is why it probably isn't like one of my favorite Beyonce albums, but it was done very well. Like from start to finish, she literally is showing every emotion she felt when she found out Jay-Z cheated on her. And this was like the last album that I really loved of Beyonce. Like, I love that she's like trying out different types of music and having fun with music in general, but I do miss this version of Beyonce, I'm not gonna lie. But let's highlight her song Hold Up, where she is walking around the street with a bat and hitting things, but taking out her rage on how she feels about the fact that her man cheated on her. And the lyrics literally say, hold up, she don't love you like I love you. And she repeats that numerous times because that's really the chorus. And it's her once again saying, they don't love you like I love you. Why are you cheating on me? Why are you doing this to me? This makes no sense. And this is another song that is claimed to be a pick-me song, because once again, people are like, why is she bringing up other women? And then we'll highlight Love Drought. And in that song, she said these lyrics, tell me what did I do wrong? Even as she is acknowledging the fact that trust was broken. This entire album was an absolute masterpiece, and I actually want to listen to it again. So after this video, I probably will be listening to Lemonade. But for many fans, watching and listening to Lemonade was an emotional whiplash. Beyonce took us from wanting to dump and possibly destroy the man, all the way to lovingly wrapping her arms around him again. And a lot of fans were looking at this as, was this relatable? Because the concept is, especially in Christianity, that when you get married, you're supposed to stay married and work through anything that has happened in your relationship, even if it is infidelity. But others felt as if she glamorized staying with a cheater, believing that it can be looked as a cautionary tale to accept mistreatment from a man time and time again. And when people look at her entire discography, from Dangerously in Love all the way to Lemonade, it's like, you've been going through a man that wasn't treating you right, so why did you stay with him? And it's starting to give pick-me to people, even if she did marry the man. So the question goes to you guys. From these lyrics that we talked about in this video, and even some lyrics that we did not speak about in this video, do you think Beyonce should be labeled as a pick-me? Or do you believe her lyrics show the reality of being in love and all the waves that comes with being in a relationship? We all know relationships aren't easy and they go through ups and downs. And though we all say we wouldn't stay with a cheater, a lot of women actually do. And Beyonce may be just showing the vulnerabilities that women have to go through all the time. I know a lot of people probably would label Beyonce as a pick-me because they don't find Jay-Z to be attractive. I think that is a huge part. I think if Beyonce was married to a more socially accepted man, people would be like, no, this is so relatable, like I get it. But I think a lot of people believe that Beyonce is too good for Jay-Z, and they're not looking at her artistry as raw, vulnerable, honest, and complex work. But like I said, I want to know what you guys think. So do you think that it can be seen as misogynistic that people are labeling her as such? Let's get the discussion going on in the comments down below. And let me know other people you guys want a similar video like this on. But you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And yeah, remember we're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love and I appreciate you guys all so very much. And I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment.